You need to know how to fill out your own W-4, and you need to know how to help somebody else. You can't be going around saying, "Woo, we got to wait till Ivy get here to do this." No, everybody in my econ has been around 3, 4, 5, 6 months, because all I'm going to do is read the form. And whatever the numbers are, that's what the numbers are, right? Okay? All right, scroll up. First box, it says, see, when you're showing somebody this, because some people are going to argue with you, well, you know, my lawyer said, my CPA said this. Let's just read the form. Okay? When you're doing your presentations, we got the common tax deductions info pack. Just let them read them. Because you're never going to convince some people, because you got to understand, people built their whole life on flawed data that broke them, and they still love it. Because they don't know no better. And if they don't know no better, and it broke them, and they still love it, you're not going to change their mind with a cute conversation. Going to take more than that in it. You got to give them real facts that they can validate. The form says, stop. Purpose, complete Form W-4. So your employee can withhold the correct federal income tax from your pay. Consider completing a new Form W-4 each year and when your personal financial situation changes. Have you been doing that? Then the argument's over. There you go. You need to change back, okay? All right, keep going. Enter one for yourself if nobody else can claim you. That's simple, right? Number 2, enter one if you're single and have only one job. You're entering one if this situation, okay? You're married and have only one job and your spouse does not work. Or your wages from a second job or your spouse's wages or the total of both are $1,500 less. See? The question is, see, we're not trying to derive at an answer here. We're going to read the questions, and whatever the forms say, that's what it says. Like what some people want to think about my econ is, well, see, we just tell everybody to change that before, and they automatically get a magic bucket of money. This ain't true. The IRS says 80% of the people in this country had the W-4 filled out incorrectly. That means if they weren't in my econ, the thing's still wrong. Okay? Now, being in business is going to make it even more incorrect because they're going to have even more deductions. You see? Now, why should someone change the W-4? Well, it's real simple. Let's say that you could change your W-4 and pick up $420 a month. Okay? That's $5,000 a year. Now, you pay $5,000, you pay taxes on this $5,000 whether you get it or not. If the IRS keep the $5,000, you're in the 33% tax bracket, you're going to get $3,400 of it back at the end of the year. You still lost $1,700. If you didn't let the IRS keep this $5,000 and you took the $5,000 and stuck it into your 401k or your 403b or some other retirement account throughout the year, this $5,000 goes in, so you got it in your account. It's now tax deductible, so you pay 0 taxes on it, so you get the whole $5,000. Plus whatever interest you made on the money. Is that correct? So, if somebody understood that, would they throw away $1,700? You see? They wouldn't, would they? Because they say, well, yeah, but I need my money. Well, you didn't have your money. The IRS had it. Everybody understand? The IRS had it. All right. So, A is going to be 1. B can be either 0 or 1. C, enter 1 for your spouse, but you may choose to enter 0 if you're married and have either a working spouse or more than one job. So you can enter 0 or 1 here. I would put 1. The more exemptions you have, the more you get in your paycheck. I want as much as I can get in my paycheck because I want that cash to do one or two things. I want to invest it to make some money, or I want to pay off debt to get rid of some interest. Is that correct? I want my money working because, remember, most people grew up in a household where they only learned to make money by working, didn't they? In other words, when we grew up, our parents said, if you want to make some money, you need to do some what? Work. And then if you want to make even more money, you need to go to school and get a good education so you can do some more work. But all of it led to work. But rich people, financially successful people, do not become financially successful or rich working. Doesn't work that way. If a person becomes financially successful or a millionaire, they get to that state by working their money. Their money gets them wealthy. Working makes you a living. Everybody comfortable with that? Everybody got that? So, our parents did the best they could, but most of them were not wealthy. So they couldn't teach what they didn't know. Everybody got it? That's why the next generation will surpass ours. It might take them a while. They might stumble for a little while. But wait, another 10, 12, that next generation start taking over, they'll go far, much further financially than we did. Because they're going to know more faster. It's not going to even be a close race. They're going to build crazy wealth. So you just think about when you was 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, and your parents like, you ain't going to ever be able to make a living. And then you ended up making a lot of money, even being able to do some things for them, because that's what time does, right? When you get that generation, 5, 6, 7, 8 more years, you watch all this learning, all this information they're getting at an early age, boom. Because they're not going to have to unlearn. We had to unlearn and relearn. So there was a fight that had to go on first, right? All right. So D, enter number of dependents. Okay? Other than spouse. So if you got children, you put it there. If you don't have children, you don't put it there, right? E, if you follow head of household. Head of household means that you are a single parent. Okay? In other words, you can't be married and head of household. You know? Or you could be an adult and you could be even taking care of another adult, like a disabled child or a disabled parent, and then you could still be head of household on that. Everybody got it? They can't be disabled like lazy. That's a disability. F, enter one, if you have at least 1,500 of child care, daycare. Boom, you put that in F. Everybody got it? Okay. The idea of this form is the government is saying, we want you to set your adjustments to a point so that we don't owe you and you don't owe us at the end of the year. But if the government owes you money at the end of the year, you're losing the ability to make money with your money throughout the year. In other words, you're giving the government the use of your money. When you give the government the use of your money, what do you think they do with it? Right. Well, you would think our government would be smart, right? But when they get the money, when the IRS gets the money throughout the year, they take the money and they put it in the banks. And they let the banks make the money on your money. They put the money in the banks, and then the banks loan the money out to people for cars, houses, businesses, education, bonds. You see? And see, that's the thing. When you learn to participate in this capitalistic society, your life changes. All right, scroll up a little bit, Cap. Down. All right, good. Stop. Go down. Okay, stop. So child tax, if your total income be less than $61,000, $90,000 if you're married, then you enter 2 for each child. So they gave you credit for dependents up here. Now they're giving you double credit down here. That's called the child tax credit. That came out several years ago. That's just the way that, okay? Now, if you're making, if your total income is between $61,000 and $84,000, if you're single, $90 and $119 if you're married, then you get an additional for your child. If it's the first number you get twice, up down here it's 1 additional. Okay, you add all this up on line H, that's what you got. Now, that's the front side of the W-4. This is for a standard filer, no business, no student loans, no nothing. This is just straight by the book, okay?